Hi Aquarius, this is your monthly forecast for November of 2016. Thank you so much for joining me and tuning in. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that this is a very general forecast for those born under the sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Aquarius. But don't forget that you are more than one sign. Okay, you need to go check out your birth chart. I've posted a link below to where you can go do that and see what your moon sign is, see what your rising sign is. The rising sign you can only find out if you know your time of birth. If not, it's cool because you still have the rest of the chart that you can check out and see what other planetary energies make up you as a unique individual. If you would like an interpretation of your chart by moi, or if you would just like a reading to tell you, give some clarity and some light shed upon to any type of situation in life, I would love to give you a reading. So my website to order one is indigomoon.astrology.com. So go ahead and go there to schedule a reading with myself. All right, now on to your general November forecast. All right, Aquarius, so this month I am trying something new. I have a circular chart that's pretty neat, pretty cool, that I purchased, and it has little planetary symbols and houses and stuff, so I can really give you guys more of a visual of what's going on with the planets this month to show how it affects you. It is transparent, so it may be a little difficult to see, so bear with me with that, but I'm working on it. Okay, but let's go check it out and see what it has to say about Aquarius this month. All right, my Aquarius friends. So this is my circular chart here that we're going to be using this month. See what the energies are like for you guys. So first of all, we're going to talk about the sun in Scorpio until the 21st of November in your 10th house of career. So the 10th house, take a look at this. You notice how this circular chart is like a clock. You know how the clock has 12 hours on it? Well, the circular chart has 12 houses and 12 signs. So it's very similar, which we can get into in another video. But you know how the 12 o'clock hour of the day, in a lot of regions of the world, that's the time when the sun is at the very top of the sky. Like, everybody can see the sun. It's right in the middle, right above us. And it's just like, hey, everybody, I'm here. It's not hidden away at all. Everybody can see it. Well, when the sun is in your 10th house, the 10th house is like the 12 o'clock mark on the clock. It's the time when everybody can see you. Okay, so if the sun is here, you're shining out to the world, everybody can see you. And the sun is a very enlightening, positive, encouraging type of energy. So and it's your vitality. So that's how everybody is going to be seeing you. You're going to be really like radiating your energy out there. The 10th house also rules career. Okay, it's your social status. It's like I said, how everybody sees you. So if you're in Aquarius, it's really looking to advance in career or grab a new career path. Well, the sun in Scorpio is the perfect time for you guys. It's a really great time for doing so. So definitely a big focus on career, or if you are trying to establish or grow your career, you're trying to put yourself out there a lot more. The sun in Scorpio is definitely the time to do that. Start getting out there on social media more, getting out there to events and marketing yourself. Aquarius energy is excellent at doing stuff like that. So this is really a great time to do that while the sun is in Scorpio in your 10th house. So now let's talk about Mars for you guys. So Mars, he's the planet that rules action and drive and initiative. On a negative side, he can be aggressive, he can be pushy and impatient and cause some conflicts, okay? But wherever he points his arrow, that's what he aims at and goes towards full speed ahead with passion. So this planet is moving into your sign, into Aquarius, on the 9th of November. So what does that mean for you guys? Well, it means a few things. Mars is physical energy, so you're going to have a lot more of that during this time. Mars is also, he's action. So the first house, your sign, that is your life path. So you're going to be taking a lot more action and initiative towards achieving goals that have to do with being on your true path, especially paired with the sun in Scorpio at that time. This is pushing you to meet that top of the chart, top of the sky, top of your game, top of your life, like, really maximizing that energy. That's what Mars in your sign is going to do. On the negative side, it can make you personally more pushy and aggressive. So I would watch out for that. And Mars is the god of war, right? So you could be wearing whatever planet is in your first house. This is yourself and your body as well as your life path. So if you're wearing Mars on your body, the good part is you could be motivated to work out and to get that god-like body, like god of war like body, like have those like smoking like sharp abs, and just really be in tip-top shape, physical shape. Also, if you are in a position of authority, the sun here, this is a house of authority. The first house and Mars, this is also authority and asserting yourself. So this can help boost your energy to be able to do that if that's the type of career that you're in, that kind of permits that authoritative type of energy. On the negative side, Mars in your first house, the god of war. You could be wearing the god of war, and this is how people can see you. So you can attract conflict from others to yourself, unfortunately. Or you can be a little more pushy and aggressive towards others and, initiate conflicts as well. So that's the negative side. Don't use the energy for that if you're not in that type of career or lifestyle. But if you are, really great boost in energy during this time. So that starts on the 9th of November. So let's talk about Mercury here. Mercury, he's the planet that rules communication and your thinking processes, especially your logical, rational thinking. So he is going to move into the sign of Sagittarius on the 12th of November. And this is your 11th house of friendships and groups of like-minded people. So Aquarius, on the general zodiac wheel, the one that starts with Aries first, you guys, when we go around it, you guys are the 11th sign, right? So anytime anything happens 11 signs from you, this is you first. You count all the way around, you go 11th from you. This is your 11th house, and it's a very similar energy to Aquarius, the 11th sign. I know that can be confusing. Maybe I'll do astrology 101 videos one day. But for those of you who understand what the 11th house means, very similar energy to Aquarius. So you feel at home here. Your thinking feels at home here. It's on networking with people. It's on gathering groups of people together to do some cool group activities or be involved in a cause together or a hobby together. This is also working on your friendships, chatting with friends a lot more, chatting a lot more on social media. Meeting people out there, networking, and getting out there in the world. It's, on a lower scale, just your friends that you have, your own personal groups of friends that you bond with all the time. You'll be more active in those groups, mentally active, communicating with them a lot more. If you are an Aquarius that's trying to get yourself out there as far as a new career path, Mars has you motivated. The sun has you shining out there positively. Mercury here can have you networking, okay? If you're in a career that requires social media networking, Mercury in this house is a really, really positive energy here and a positive boost for you guys. Mercury will come into a conjunction with Saturn in Sagittarius in your 11th house on the 23rd of November. These two speaking with one another. Saturn in the 11th, it's not, actually Saturn in the 11th is a little bit better of a Saturn transit than other Saturn house transits. Saturn in the 11th just has you really working on friendships, and a lot of times it can be weeding out the ones that I don't want to say no longer serve you, but are not, a positive enforcement for you, positive type of vibe for you. I've seen some of my Aquarius rising friends, soon as Saturn went into Sag, they cut off some friendships, even though Aquarius energy, just generally speaking about it, is very much into groups and friends and gathering friends together, having lots of friends in different diverse groups of people. But this Saturn here, since the fall of 2015, has you kind of taking a more serious look at your friendships and at the groups of people that you hang around. Because you know what they say you are who you hang out with. And if you are trying to better your life and advance in life. And there's some people that are just kind of dragging you down, maybe draining you of your resources, maybe just using you, or maybe they're just kind of negative people, negative vibes. You don't want to be around that anymore. Even though you try to be cool and neutral with everybody, you could be cutting people off, in this past year and until 2018. But Mercury here, speaking with Saturn, is kind of helping your thinking, which is Mercury, kind of look at your groups and friendships in a Saturnian way, which is like, is this person really a good friend or are they not? It's evaluating your friendships. And even if you belong to some groups, like say, for example, you belong to an online group, like a Facebook group, a discussion group, you're going to be taking a little bit more Saturnian approach to how you communicate with them and what you're thinking about and what you're putting out there. So that's Mercury and Saturn together around the 23rd of November. And then on the 26th of November, we have Mercury and Uranus making a trine. Here he is. Making a trine aspect, which is actually a very positive aspect. To Aries in your third house. The third house is the house of the mind and communication, and that's what Mercury rules as well. So it's two of these energies working together, coming together to come up with some really creative ideas. Okay, and Uranus actually is a similar energy to the 11th house. So they have like this really good positive exchange to be able to come up with some really great ideas and maybe have like a sudden revelation about friends and groups during that time, because Uranus rules things that are sudden flashes of insight. Maybe if you're trying to come up with more positive ways to work hard and gain a great career, Mercury trine Uranus in your third house can help you to come up with ways to network a lot better, to reach more of the masses, which the 11th house rules and also Uranus rules. So really great time for the networking Aquarians out there. So now let's talk about Venus. So Venus, she's the goddess of love. Everybody knows that. In astrology, Venus rules enjoyment of the five senses, the physical world pleasures. That's food, money, material things. And also she rules love and relationships. So wherever Venus travels is where you can possibly meet a love partner if you are interested or single or whatever. Or it can just be where you're enjoying yourself the most in life and what style and what fashion you're enjoying life. So on the 12th, Venus moves into Capricorn. This is your 12th house. So the 12th house is a house of retreating away from the world, escaping reality, and just relaxing and enjoying life, like kind of under the radar in a way, So this is a little bit of a tricky energy here because we've got Mercury here hanging out, chatting with groups and stuff. We've got the sun up here. Hey, I want everybody to see me. Then we've got Venus. Well, I don't want anybody to see me. I kind of want to be alone. So even though you're up here, you're marketing yourself, networking, you're putting yourself out there. When it's time to go home and to relax, that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to spend some time alone, maybe be a little bit more of a recluse. You are going to just feel extra like you need that alone time. Maybe spending some time taking a long bath or shower, really reflecting back on your life. The 12th house is also an energy that rules water. So maybe going near water may be beneficial to you during this time, like going to visit a lake or an ocean or, just a nice body of water to chill and relax by and just release everything that you've been collecting from your busy, busy days out there in the world. Now, Venus in the 12th, if you are single, maybe you can meet somebody while you're out networking and, putting yourself out there, but you have a relationship with them that you begin that you kind of want to be on the low, so to speak, maybe under the radar, not put your relationship business out there on social media. Or maybe if you're already in a relationship, you may just want to spend some more quality time alone with that person rather than getting out there and hanging out with friends. You guys could be like, nah, let's just go home and chill, Netflix and chill or whatever they say nowadays. Just really escape the world together. Venus in the 12th house. The 12th house can be an energy of, like I said, doing things under the radar. So if you're an Aquarius that is already in a committed relationship, Sometimes when Venus goes in the 12th house, that during that time, people may start looking at other people that are inaccessible to them in some sort of way or unavailable to them. Say they're already married or in a relationship, or maybe they're online and they're at a distance, and you're just kind of like, I wonder what would happen if you start dreaming, you start fantasizing about that person and what it would be like to be with them or whatever. And sometimes this can also bring like that damsel in distress energy to where you feel like, oh, I'm such the victim, my relationship sucks and I want someone to rescue me. And so you may like dissolve the boundaries between you and another person because you want to be rescued. You know what I'm getting at, Aquarius? Okay, so if you're committed, this is a little bit of a touchy energy here. So just be careful and mindful of that. Venus enters that house on the 12th of November and is here for the rest of the month. And on the 5th of the month, Venus will come into a conjunction with Pluto here. Okay, so Pluto is an energy that on the negative side, it could be obsession. Okay, so it could also be jealousy. So you can become maybe obsessed with somebody who you see online or who's like a celebrity, somebody that's like I said, kind of inaccessible, not readily in your face or able to be, met up with in person or whatever. You might start dreaming about them and be kind of a little obsessive, or maybe somebody might be like that towards you, and it's kind of like undercover, like on the low, and you got to kind of be a little careful with that and watch yourself. But yeah, Venus and Pluto together can also be very powerful and spiritual in the 12th house. So if you are into meditation, this can be a time where you really get some great insight into things, if you meditate during this time. Now, around this time, the end of the month, the 23rd, the 25th, 26th, so like with some of these transits I mentioned, in the United States, that's Thanksgiving time. So a lot of people will be spending time with family, or maybe you just may have the days off from work and use that time to retreat and relax. Okay, definitely do that. Like I said, powerful meditation, and also pay attention to your dreams, especially around the Venus and Pluto conjunction, because Pluto is also on the positive side, very psychic energy, very magnetic and psychic, and can pull in energy from unseen forces. And the 12th house is the house of your dreams, like the dreams you have at night when you're asleep. And Venus and Pluto here working together, I would say pay very close attention to your dreams around Thanksgiving time, or around the 25th if you don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. So the sun on the 21st will move into Sagittarius here in your 11th house. So this is more energy for networking, more of a boost in vitality with putting yourself out there to the masses on social media and in groups, and being very, very active within groups. So this is through the end of the month. The sun will be there starting on the 21st. So now let's talk about the moons, the lunar transits. So every month there's a full moon and there's a new moon, and they bring new beginnings and also endings, and also just final decisions made. Really big changes are brought with the lunar events. So first we're going to talk about the full moon. It's in the sign of Taurus, at 22 degrees Taurus. This is in your 4th house of home and family, and then the sun is up here in your 10th house of career. So what this shows you is the full moon is when the moon and the sun are in opposite signs. That means for you personally, they're in opposite areas of your life, and they're opposing each other, which is kind of an energy that's kind of intense, and it's tense. Okay, so it brings things to a breaking point, into a final decision. So it can be that some of my Aquarians, you're up here networking with people, you're doing all kinds of stuff out there in the world, and then down here your family, which is your 4th house, is like, hold up, what about us? Okay, especially if you are an Aquarius that has a family of your own, like you're married, you have children, or you're living with someone, you're in a serious relationship, and you guys have kids and a home, and those family responsibilities. Those people can be like, okay, Mr. Superstar, Miss Superstar Aquarius, you're out there running around and doing stuff and active, and you're out there networking with people, working on your career. But what about your family life? What about your home? So there could be a little bit of a conflicting thing going on here, to where you got to make a decision between your family and your home and your career. This can, for some Aquarians who don't really have a family of their own per se, mean like a career that you're gaining power within and maybe gaining a great position within can require you to move. Okay, so that could be actually a good thing, relocating to somewhere different in order to have a great career. So that is the full moon in Taurus on the 14th of November. So on the 29th of November, we have a new moon in the sign of Sagittarius in your 11th house. So a new moon is when the sun and moon come together in the same sign and the same degree. And they meet together and they birth a brand new beginning for you in that area of life. So for you guys, the 11th house, groups and friends and organizations and causes that you belong to. So new friendships can begin. Maybe you clear out the old to welcome in the new. You know, like I said, Saturn has you working on those friendships here for a couple of years. So this can kind of enhance that energy there. So this can also mean a new group that you belong to. Maybe you worked very hard to gain a prestigious reputation while the sun was up here in your 10th house in Scorpio. And then you finally, you know, get to join some group, some elite group, or, you know, network with like some of the best people to kind of enhance your career once this new moon comes around. So that is the new moon on the 29th. Alright, Aquarius, so that was it for your November forecast. I really hope that it was helpful for you in some sort of way. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see your forecast from me every single month. And also, if you would like a reading that's more personally catered towards you because you are unique and this is a very general horoscope, I would love to give you a reading. Go to my website, indigomoonastrology.com, and we can get something going. So take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys in December. 2017 is almost here. All right. See you later.